Yunsu told Gurim to come with him, but Gurim refused and ran away. Everywhere he went, the overwhelming scent of blood clung to the people around him, making it impossible to escape. Eventually, he stumbled into an alley and curled up against the wall, trying to block out the sensation. As he sat there, a pink-haired girl approached him. Unlike everyone else, he noticed that she didn't carry the scent of blood. She asked if he was the boy who had died. Gurim froze, unable to respond. Seeing his reaction, she told him that he was just like her. When he didn't say anything, she tilted her head and asked if he was afraid of her. Panicked, Gurim attempted to run, but she stopped him effortlessly. She then asked if he was struggling with the scent of blood, and when he hesitantly asked how she knew, she handed him a small packet filled with animal blood. She explained that she could provide more whenever he was hungry, but warned him never to drink from a human. Once you do, she added, you can never go back. Before he could ask anything else, she vanished into thin air. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Yunsu reassured Chea that Gurim would surely come back to her. Just as he finished speaking, his phone suddenly rang. He saw the caller ID, and it was Father. Without another word, he hurriedly left, driving off in a rush and leaving Chea behind. Remembering that she had an appointment at the hospital, Chea made her way there as well. While waiting for the elevator, she coincidentally ran into Yunsu again. This time, however, he wasn't alone. Chea, having never seen Father before, didn't think much of it and casually called out Yunsu's name. Yunsu's eyes, Father, who was watching the interaction with interest. Yunsu remained silent, not responding to her. Then, with a slow, menacing smile, Father turned to Yunsu and asked, "Do you know her?" Chea wondered who the man was. His gaze was unsettling, and when she glanced at Yunsu, she noticed how nervous he looked. Without showing her unease, she simply replied that she was his neighbor before stepping out of the elevator. As she left, she could feel the man's eyes on her, his smile lingering. Outside, the eerie feeling stayed with her. Something about that man was deeply unsettling, and then it clicked. He must be Park Yunsu's father. Meanwhile, Yunsu and Father sat across from each other at a table. Yunsu asked why he had suddenly been called, to which Father replied that he felt bad for scolding his son as soon as he returned and wanted to check in on him. He mentioned how he had remained silent about the Xi'an incident, but had recently noticed Yunsu playing strange tricks, disposing of a body in a suitcase, hunting when he wasn't supposed to, and most curious of all, acting more human. With a smile, he added that perhaps it was because of the woman from the elevator. Yunsu, keeping his expression neutral, questioned what Father was implying. Father smirked. "I never forget the scent of blood. Hers smelled just like the one you were trying to hide in the mansion." Yunsu didn't respond. Father pressed further, asking why he hadn't gotten rid of her. Yunsu replied that it was because of the hunting ban. But Father didn't buy it, suggesting that there was another reason, given how close they seemed. Again, Yunsu remained silent. Observing his reaction, Father commented that Yunsu was making the same troubled face he had in the elevator. Then, after a brief pause, he said he would lift the hunting ban and asked if Yunsu would kill her now. The tension between them thickened. Yunsu casually dismissed the topic, calling Father delusional. Father dropped it with a smile but left him with a warning, reminding him what happened to Son when he fell for a human. Yunsu scoffed, saying Chea was nothing more than entertainment, a toy he could throw away whenever he wanted. Falling for a human, he added, was a ridiculous idea. Later, alone in his car, Yunsu found himself irritated. Running into Chea in front of Father had been the worst possible scenario. His words from earlier echoed in his head, only making his annoyance grow. When he reached his apartment, he ran into Chea again. She approached, mentioning that Gurim hadn't come home yet, but Yunsu didn't stop walking. With a brief side glance and a blank expression, he ignored her completely. Somewhere else, the pink-haired woman hurriedly woke a man up, urging him to leave before her father returned. She warned him that if her father saw him, he would be dead. Quickly pushing him out of the house, she erased his memories before shutting the door behind him. Inside, she froze upon seeing Father already sitting on the couch. He called her by name, Rose, and asked angrily why she was still associating with humans, even in Korea. She brushed off his scolding, saying he didn't like it when she spent time with vampires either. Assuring him that everything was fine since she had erased the man's memories, Father coldly replied that of course it would be fine, because he had already taken care of him. Her expression darkened as anger flared within her. She demanded to know if he didn't trust her. Without hesitation, Father replied that he trusted no one, not even his own daughter. Then he informed her that they were returning to their hometown. She protested, saying she wanted to stay longer. He narrowed his eyes, asking if it was because she wanted to see Yunsu. Her thoughts immediately went to Gurim. Did he know that she had met him? Keeping her composure, she instead asked if she could meet Yunsu. Father dismissed the idea, remarking that Yunsu might not even remember her, but Rose knew that wasn't the case. He continued, saying they shouldn't meet. Yunsu hated him, and she was his daughter. Later, as she walked through the streets, Rose found herself lost in thought. Her father was a vampire, her mother most likely human. So then, what did that make her? Back at the apartments, Gurim stood in front of Yunsu's door, hesitating. Just as he was about to knock, the door swung open from the inside. Yunsu stood there, his gaze unreadable. Gurim hesitated before finally asking, "What should I do now?"